The Welsh Assembly is to hold a debate on the dumping of hundreds of thousands of tonnes of sediment near Cardiff from the construction of a nuclear power plant across the water in Somerset. It comes after activists concerned about radioactive contamination from so-called nuclear mud from the Hinkley Point C site threatened a legal challenge. But they dropped their case ahead of the proposed debate on the 10th of October. The campaigners argue the material was not properly tested before being disposed of on a sandbank just beyond the city of Cardiff. But EDF Energy, the company building the plant, says there's nothing to worry about.
The claimant's decision to drop the case is good news for a project that is vital for the UK's energy future and provides work for 25 Welsh companies and 1,000 Welsh workers. The mud is no different to mud found anywhere else up and down the coast, and it has been thoroughly tested by independent experts who confirmed it poses no threat to human health or the environment. The sediment is not classed as radioactive under UK law.
For more on this, I'm now joined by independent Welsh Assembly member for South Wales Central, Neil McAvoy. Neil, evening to you.
Good evening, that's right there.
Well, EDF says they've tested the Earth several times. It's not radioactive, so what makes you think it is?
Well, let me just clarify. EDF are misleading people completely. The mud has not been tested properly. Let's go back to the very beginning in 2009. There were only 5 samples taken beneath 5 centimetres. And the danger area, according to scientists, is roughly 50 centimetres. There were higher levels of radioactivity as shown in the results, and we wanted to scrutinise the raw data, and we were then told that the raw data was disposed of. It had been destroyed. The most worrying thing of all is that we have now found out, as admitted by Magnox Limited, that there were accidents in cooling ponds in the late 1960s with weapon-grade plutonium. And what scientists like the Emeritus Professor Keith Barnum of Imperial College London say is that plutonium particles, as a result, may now be in that mud. And what is absolutely scandalous, and it's the most scandalous thing I've come across in 30 years in politics...
Well, we know that EDF are not here to defend themselves, but the evidence you're giving... All right, OK, carry on then.
Because they've only tested, and they admit this, they've only tested using gamma spectrometry. To pick up those particular plutonium particles, they needed to use alpha spectrometry or mass spectrometry. That's just a scientific fact as established by eminent nuclear physicists. So what we're asking the Welsh Assembly to do is to suspend the dumping, get the testing done, and we have to be sure that this material is safe. And EDF have a dreadful record on misinforming the public. They even tried to claim that Greenpeace said the mud wasn't toxic, and Greenpeace never said that at all. So if they lied about that, my question is, what else are they lying about?
Right, you're now calling for a people's flotilla to blockade the dumping ground. If you're afraid of this Earth being radioactive, aren't you actually putting people's health at risk by getting them even closer to it?
The very sad fact now is that the mud being dumped, the particles from that mud are migrating up to 10 miles inland, which is an absolute scandal of a potential scandal of public health. I intend to board a boat, as do many others, because we want to stand up for Wales, we want to stand up for our country and put a stop to this disgraceful dumping of material about which we know virtually nothing. It's an absolute scandal.
But what we have heard is a very robust defence of the position, saying there's absolutely no risk to anybody. Is this just a question of you simply not liking Earth coming from Somerset, from the Somerset coast, over to Wales, and it's in effect a NIMBYism attitude?
Not at all, no. First of all, I would say that Wales is not a dumping ground for England, but with this matter, also the people in the west of England may well be affected. All you have to do is consult with nuclear physicists, ask them how you test for plutonium particles, and they will tell you that you need alpha spectrometry and mass spectrometry.
Well,
the testing done using gamma only is not sufficient, and it's an absolute scandal, and we'll be making that point in our Welsh Parliament.
But it's quite extraordinary, despite everything you say and all your concerns, and still yet to be proved, of course, because you say you're waiting for extensive tests to back up your theory and your concerns. But isn't it interesting, though, that officially this project is supporting the livelihoods of Welsh employees? Surely nobody would be put at risk if the government or the local authorities had any sense that there was any sense of risk whatsoever to those people working on this mud site.
Well, the issue is we don't know because the testing has not been done. They've only used one type of testing. I'll draw your attention to Kosovo, where they tested for radioactivity in mud. They used the 3 methods there. In Wales, we have a government which has caved in to big business, caved into the UK government, and they're simply not standing up for the people of Wales, and it's an absolute scandal.
Neil, we shall be addressing your concerns, your comments to EDF this evening, and we hope we'll get some sort of response from them in their defence. Neil McAvoy, thank you very much indeed for joining us live on RT UK. Bye. Good to talk to you. Thank you.